My Happy Marriage is one of the weirdest shoujo I have ever watched. Granted, I haven't watched many, but at least things like Yuri on Ice or Vampire Knight pick a vibe and stick with it. My Happy Marriage is a roller coaster. It started off as this cutesy, melodramatic Cinderella story, then it progressed into political drama arranged marriage thingy, and then it finally ended as what I can only call a battle shonen. It's funny to me how the series changed genre like 3 times during the season, and yet it still more or less delivered on the initial premise, so kudos to the author. This anime was more surprising than anything I've watched this season, and that includes whatever the hell was happening on Mushoku Tensei, so that's a high bar to clear. So after Kuro saves Miyo from the kidnapping, this couple is still not allowed marital peace, as Miyo is suffering from these nightmares and Kuro has to fight the mentors or something, because a grave broke and there's an evil plan behind the scenes, whatever, no one cares. The Dementors are coming for us and it must be Kuro to save us all. When they initially talked about them being this sort of Digimon destroying squad or something, we didn't quite get a clear picture, but seeing these episodes of Kuro just battling these Dementors by shooting fire at them, and then remembering this series started off as a Japanese rendition of Cinderella is a bit surreal. Meanwhile, creepy glasses dude, who visually is the shoujo sexier version of Aizen from Bleach, who am I kidding, no one is sexier than Aizen from Bleach. The dude starts hitting on Miyo, and once again this is a very big tone shift from the beginning of the series. The series started off, I thought, to establish a message of no matter how unwanted or unneeded you think you are, you can still find love in a good relationship or something. But the series progressed from nobody wanting Miyo to everybody all of a sudden wants Miyo. She became a rock star from just a few episodes. So yeah, this is the part in the story that confuses me the most, besides the genre shift obviously, because it's never quite explained properly in the anime why she was married off to Kuro. They didn't really give a proper reason other than her father not wanting her. I'm sure that in the light novel they probably explain this in more detail. But then there's this sudden point in the season where she's like the female Cody Rhodes. She went from undesirable to undeniable, and it happens so fast, it's just a bit jarring. And then we discover that creepy glasses dude is related to Miyo, and I'm trying to cope, thinking to myself, okay, maybe the Usuba clan is a big clan, and then we discover that he's her cousin. Is this Game of Thrones all of a sudden? What is happening? Of course, known arsonist Kuro will not stand for this, and so they fight in what is the typical battle shonen rivalry where the protagonist is stronger, but the villain has a trickier skill set, and then the villain just wins. So Miyo is now with the Usuba clan. But guilt plagues Miyo as she knows that she does not belong here. She belongs with her true love, with Kuro, and meanwhile Kuro got injured fighting the Dementors and is now in a coma. Miyo gets word of this for no good reason whatsoever. Obviously they would keep that information from her, as they should and as they were ordered by the Emperor to, but instead for some weird reason they tell her this and she insists she must go to Kudo, and then the creepy glasses dude, who was being very forceful up until this point, even making her wear specific clothing, has a sudden change of heart and then just takes her to Kudo because it's just convenient for the plot, I guess. And then there's this epic shonen moment where all of the friends and protagonists are gathered and Miyo holds Kuro's hand and unleashes her true power, goes into his dream, goes full Sailor Moon on those Dementors and blows the enemies away and saves Kuro, and they live happily ever after or something. It was a very strange turn of events. Also, they technically burned the current emperor, but no one seems to care, or there's not really any consequences for our main characters, so nice. I have so many questions. This season was so bizarre and full of twists and turns from both the characters and the plot, but this is not a negative moment. Oh no, there is no negativity to be had here. I'm saving that for a bit later in the video. This is a moment full of positivity and hope and light, and I will say, in the defense of My Happy Marriage, at least the season ended with Miyo actually doing something, which is a positive. The obvious criticism of My Happy Marriage ever since the first episode is that Miyo is like that chick from Twilight. She's bland, she has no personality, she pretty much just exists to suffer and to be saved by the other characters, and she's not very compelling by herself. She is at least very hardworking, she's not spoiled or entitled, so she has that going for her, but due to her personality and the writing, I wouldn't say she's the most interesting main character ever. There's this moment near the end of the season where they ask her, do you want to stay with Yusuba or stay with Kudo? And she says, I don't care, and I hated this moment because I was so frustrated. They have already built a certain relationship between the two, and then here she is once again being this doormat. Just act as a human being with thoughts and opinions, just do something. But at least she ended up redeeming herself and actually ending the series on a positive note, so that's nice. Even though I got what I wanted, I'm not necessarily sure if this was the way I expected it to go. This was a wild series with more turns than NASCAR, and watching this with my girlfriend was very surreal because I'm enjoying more of the shonen elements and she's liking like the makeup scenes and dressing scenes. Women are weird. But anyway, this was a peculiar series, if I do say so myself. And my question is, where does the story go from here? After all, they have more or less resolved every... Oh right, they haven't gotten married yet. The author got me once again. But I will say I am looking forward to season 2 because Miyo has now developed a personality, sort of. And I'm just so mesmerized by whenever I watch one of these episodes, it's like, what is happening? This confused me and perplexed me, and it just kept me interested because it's like I'm watching 20 different series just gelled into one. So, you know, it's like a gift box. It just keeps giving me different things, and, you know, I'm definitely looking forward for My Happy Marriage season 2. Oh, and before I forget, let's end with a moment of silence for Sir Friendzone, whose name I don't recall, nor do I really care, as he ended up marrying the evil stepsister. May he rest in peace.